What's up? So I wasn't planning on making any video about this until I was safely sorted and had a bit of distance from the situation, but I don't fucking plan anything, man. God and duct tape is keeping this entire adventure together. So I think I don't know. You just have to do a bit of a dump for a second. Try and keep it vaguely vague. Did cross my mind to jot down a few notes 4 minutes ago. I'm like, fuck that. I don't roll with notes. The part of me that is doing this little YouTube channel project is a rogue part. Well, I had my thoughts gathered. Now they're gone. Okay. I'm doing an update, short update, on just logistics. Yeah, logistics and reality. We can argue over the validity of the reality. Again, I think I will make, a big, proper, planned out video at some point in the future when I'm not in the situation. It's just, I am not coping. I'm not coping. And I'm not going to do some fucking hour-long rant. Right, we're at 2 minutes 30. 11 minutes. This video is going to go for 11 minutes. I'm saying that more for me than you. So, what's happening? What? Alright, I just got to... Wow. I love it. Everything's in there. I just can't get out. Let's start with the most obvious thing. The state of these fucking teeth, yeah? I mean, there's other shit going on with that, but just on a basic fucking level, like, man, yeah? I live on coffee. Coffee keeps me sane. Coffee grounds me. Cosmic cable. If I have my coffee, that is what reminds me that I'm human. And reminds me, oh, okay, I've started my day with coffee. Anyways, that's not even from the coffee. A couple of weeks ago, I was fortunate enough to have a beautiful, mate, the universe works in wonderful ways. And miracles, I don't know, I'm just a bit of a magnet for miracles, it seems, and I'm really grateful for that. But anyways, I spent a weekend meeting beautiful, beautiful community of people. And I am, long story long, I drank black tea for 2 or 3 days straight. And even just that, look, that was not even fucking there. None of that shit was there. We just had the general lack of maintenance, happening. And then all it takes is 3 days drinking black tea. And that was there. Oh, man. Alright. Perhaps I'm finished canarying in the camera. I need to default back to the talking format that I'm familiar with. If you know, you know. What it was like, what happened, what it's like now. Okay, what it was like, as if you've seen any of the other rant videos, I have been existing in just some weird, awesome fucking dimension, man. It's an adorable dimension. It's Australia. It's Australia. And the actual, like, citizen, like, how would I say? Like, there's quite a lot of things about America that I actually like. Oh my God. I'm just saying that my entire support network, my entire family, and everyone that I am learning from and seeking... Oh man, now I'm gonna cry. Dinosaur birds. This is what I'm telling you, man. There's an episode of Doctor Who. It was Matt Smith time, and it's a lot of them are genius episodes. Fuck, I love that show. But there's a particular little story arc at one point where the whole thing is something's gone wrong with time. And some of us have noticed. Again, separate thing. Look at that, we're up to 7 minutes. Man, come on, I'm running out of time on my self-imposed timer. Because I'm not coping. This is the only shit that kind of makes sense. Something's gone wrong with time. All of time is happening at once. You got pterodactyls in the sky. But I'm creating essentially my own TV show channel right now. And just go back 10, 20 years, that cost a lot of money. People had to do whole fucking careers, Oh, that's fine. Just go start your own little TV channel. Maybe people watch it, maybe people don't. Like, living in the future, man. Living in the future is fucking cool. But also, living in the future means that it's not the past. And it's change, like, existence changes. I'm 42 years old. I've lived a lot of different lives. I'm tired. I'm tired. But yet I'm still... Oh, okay, hang on. Alright. The actual fucking information that I'm trying to impart. And don't worry, my mind does this to itself. It goes, yeah, do this. And then I get there. And then the protective parts are like, I'm going to just distract you over here because subconsciously or unconscious, whatever level of chaos fractal mind clearly feels that it's not safe. You know what I mean? It's not safe to be Alright. Let's do it. 9.5 minutes. I got 90 seconds to tell what I actually fucked. Can you tell I'm not coping? Okay. What it was like, what happened, what it's like now. Default to the most basic programming of expressing shit to other people. What it was like. I'm not talking about any recovery stuff. I'm just using the format. Okay, what it was like is I live in Australia. I live in Adorableville. For the last 2+ years, I've been static camping. I've been part of, I came to this town, and it's not far from the town, you know, I know the town. All right, we're already at 10 minutes. Okay, we're going to 15. This is why they used to get grumpy at me when I was chairing AA meetings online. Like, fuck you, man. One of the traditions is like, we can make up our own rules as long as it doesn't harm AA as a whole. Oh, wait a minute. Just yesterday I was like, don't talk about AA. Because, like, you know. Oh, man, I combined too many of my vitamin supplements. Needs must. But, like, half an hour ago I was comatose in the fucking fetal position on the floor. So, you know, like, I've made it to here. Managed to change my clothes. You know, getting stuck when under stress, it just loops. You know, and then eventually after like hours of my fucking feet were just like, change your socks. Just change your socks. Change your socks. You can change your whole world if you change your socks. And I resisted. And I changed them. And I'm like, oh my God, it's so much better. I'm like, at this rate, it's impossible. Yeah, at any rate, everything's impossible. Everything is impossible until it is done. But also, you know, plot twist, the word itself says impossible. Oh man, that kava is kicking in good, and I'm off in esoteric fucking land when I specifically was doing this video to be practical, tangible. Alright, 12 minutes. Okay, you got 3 minutes, Sam. Focus, dump your shit. Or someone's gonna 30 seconds call you. 30 seconds, 30 seconds. Right. I've been occupying this block of land for 19 months consecutively. The long form video that I proper one, I'll make notes and shit. The one I'll make in the future when I'm not in the situation will explain more about what the project was and what I actually built here and all the rest of it. No time for that right now. Right now, the situation is I've been living on V-Line land for 19 months. I've been living on a titled block, which is next door. Recording will be stopped. Wait a minute. Oh man, I'm getting a phone call. 02. Why is Sydney calling me? Alright, hang on. Yeah, I tried to call him back and then was reminded there's no credit in this phone to call out. Yeah, so essentially I've not been living on the rail access corridor. I'm on a separate block, which is next door, and that titled block has an address and a property lot number, and that has been leased to, by order of the king, to State Rail for their purposes. They got all sorts of shit, because it's where they park their machinery and stuff, when they're, they have purpose for it. But this particular one has not ever needed to be in use. And, V-Line been great this whole time. I've been working with them, working with the guy. He's great, everyone's great, but this is the problem. Reality exists, laws exist, and it's time to fucking hit the road. But I'm not coping because it's the middle of winter. I have absolutely no one to help me learn or figure out how to do any of these tasks. no one to, like, sometimes you just need another person to hold the other end of the fucking pole. It's hard trying to hold the pole and do it all in one person. And also, there are jobs that, from a civic responsibility point of view, I feel it's not safe for me to attempt that shit alone in a field. Like, at least I just need another person to literally just fucking stand there. And if I manage to squish myself trying to do a job that I'm barely fucking versed in even how it would go, at least they could call someone. I don't know. Alright, I'm going way over time. I've bootstrapped my way out of everything. And I'm not saying, I've done it all alone. What I am saying is that the consistency and the functionality of the beautiful, generous gifts, and kindnesses that I've been shown pretty much mean that, like, now I'm just addicted to cake, because genuinely I had no fucking idea that living visibly in public would involve so much free cake. Really grateful for that. In this weird dimension, there's lots of free cake, but also the Victorian Human Rights Act, Section 10, just kind of doesn't fucking exist. So the time has come for me to so what I've managed to get up to is, as you can see, I'm sitting in a vehicle. I have a caravan. It is not roadworthy. It is, how I describe it is, it's more caravan than not caravan. But, like, hope don't. Anyways, I procured the caravan last year. It currently has no fucking wheels on it. I didn't realize that when you purchase a caravan, you have to specify whether or not the fucking tires come with. So that was an interesting confusion upon delivery. When this asshat started jacking it up and they're like taking them, like, what's happening here? It's like, no, I'm not leaving my tires. And he did a poor job of saying, like, magic code words that would have just chilled me the fuck out instantly. I was confused. I was overwhelmed. I didn't know what was going on. I reacted interestingly. They reacted interestingly. Other people have, like, very low self-preservation skills. Again, other topic. But yeah, the fucking net result was, all of a sudden, I had a caravan that had no fucking wheels on it, and suddenly I am literally living the Fight Club movie. That movie was instrumental in forming my life worldview. You know how music and movies and stuff, when you're in that age of, like, 17, 18, 19, 20, that's the stuff that kind of forms and gets stuck with you. I was just standing there just going, what the fuck do I want? A caravan's got no fucking wheels. Oh my god. And we've come full circle. Okay, so I'm thinking if I'm going to try and make logical, functional videos, alright, I need to not resist that idea of jotting down a few notes. Because free-forming is, wow. Herd of monkeys. I have a caravan. I have a vehicle. It has a toe ball on the back. I've tried all of different, just essentially, like, let's be real, leveraging Australian society against Australian society, and because there kind of just is an entire black hole of nothing regarding, like, what are we even doing with the homeless people? I've just been leveraging all sorts of shit against everything, man. It's great. And just been playing chess. But also, I'm not trying to, I'm very clear. I'm not trying to fight anyone. I'm not trying to plant no flags. I'm not on some fucking crusade. But what I am is, I was raised in Australian society, 80s, 90s. I was raised as a good citizen. My father was in the RAF. Like, get receipts when you purchase things, pay cash. I'm just saying. 5 years ago, I had a small business. And I am located in Victoria. This is my home state. I was not, I'm just trying to say things without saying things. I was not located in Melbourne City, so I did not get trapped within the fucking ring of fire. Near the Twain shall pass. But I was not far out of that super dystopian. I was just, half an hour up the highway from that. So that kind of did impact, and, chaos. Oh man, I'm so lost. What am I trying to say? I'm freaking out because I have to figure out how to, like, make this fucking really old, not roadworthy caravan go on the road. And society seems to think, like, well, I'm just some epic awesome. I know I'm awesome. But, like, they just literally seem to think that the outright impossible is possible. I'm like, man, you I was already doing impossible things. And now it's all more. And I'm not coping. So 7 days from now, I need to have packed up my assets and put the broken van on the broken car and head out on a journey of breaking way more fucking laws and living a way more community, not fair trading way than I am. And all because Australia insists on just completely ignoring the fact that economically homeless people exist. People are surprised that, like, I don't know, that I can fucking boil water. You know what I mean? What are you even talking about? Man, I was a prepper. Like, I am trained in permaculture, off-grid living, sustainable design. I owned a very successful small business that was actually had the weird effect of being way too successful too quickly. So I was kind of trying to play catch up, with my own success of my business just fucking exploding. Boom! Right as, shut that shit down. I had a house cleaning business. So with one sentence, the government made it illegal for me to go to another person's house and enter their house for the services, of cleaning their house. That was illegal. So I had to shut down my entire business. Boom. That was an interesting day. Still remember that. Existing in a vacuum, in a weird, hidden in plain sight. Everybody here, this whole town, has just made up their own perceptions of the art piece. The art piece being the entire fucking thing that I've built here. And the thing is, what pisses me off the most is I agree with all of them. I absolutely agree with every individual step of the thing. Now, I'm just rambling heaps of shit. Also, the battery's going to run out. So hopefully I'll just fucking stop soon. I agree with all of them. Me personally, I feel that it is inappropriate for a person to be living on an abandoned block of land. It's abandoned. And that clarification of me saying I'm not located on the rail access corridor, a big carved out piece of land which is definitely the purview of rail. But this block of land that's been locked up, and it's a crime against the community, if this thing catches on fire, oh man, total fucking crime. Not managed, overrun with pest species, it's, So I'm just saying, for safety reasons, no, I'm not living, up the arse of the train. I'm living on a block of land that actually is a titled block. It has a property lot number and an address with the fucking council. I've got all the documentation. I have a copy of the actual physical, sorry, not a hard copy, but I'm saying the lease that states, by order of the King of England, or the Queen back then, this particular piece of land is leased to State Rail. And it's all got like the stamps and shit on it. I agree with everyone. It's highly inappropriate to have somebody literally just living completely without any services, any regular support team. There's no one coming past once a week dropping off 25 litres of water. There's no one checking. Does anyone want to maybe just stop by once a month just to make sure that Sam's not actually fucking dead in there? That doesn't exist. And so bootstrapping the entirety of my own shit, and the only people that do cover is just and I'm like, yeah, okay, cool, I'll put that on the list, and then also I'll go and figure out how to do these impossible things. Section 10 of the Victorian Human Rights Act, no one's interested. I'll spend a month, wasting my time getting trying to get the fucking lawyers onto that, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, so, like, because I agree with them. You can't have people living there for, all that long. Because it's slowly going to be a shit mess. And also other people just force their way in here, and then I had to run them out. Like, all this shit distracts from everything I've been trying to do. And then to be turfing people, pushing people off land in the middle of winter, they give 30-day trespass notice, get off land, or we will request police to remove you. My counter offer was, you say 30 days, I request 90 days. 90 days grace to do this as a civilized adult human. Because that's what I thought we were. I thought we were Australians, and I thought that civilized adult interaction is where it's at. And yeah, everything's civil and adult. But every single person has plausible deniability sitting right there in their hands. It is actually no one's job to notice or help out. Because if there was someone else, yeah, I'm not coping. I know I'm awesome, but society seems to think that I can do outright impossible shit in the middle of winter. Physically by myself, socially by myself. And the best, like, I've had 2 separate men just point at this station wagon and go, oh, have you considered just packing that, fucking off in that? Well, and walk away from the $8,000-$10,000 worth of assets that I've worked my fucking ass off to accumulate. I will not be dispossessed of my assets by the fucking state. But also, I'm completely paralyzed as to, like, which task to put my fucking efforts into. All the while still playing, Happy Families fucking welcome wagon to the few normal, decent, good citizens that's still rolling up here with donations and offerings. So you could play that gratitude loop, which I am. I'm grateful that they've taken the action. But also, I literally built an entire fucking village in full view. It's very important that it was visible, and every single organisation, person in this town of any relevance has always known since day one, the kettle's on. Come round for a cup of tea. There's literally a central fire pit gathering area for that purpose. This place has sheltered homeless people. They roll in here This is why I fucking built it, man. I spent the first year chilling like a monk under a tarp, doing my own thing. And homeless people kept coming to ask me for help. People still with shock in their eyes. They come to me for help. I was sitting on the ground in the mud under a fucking tarp in a park. And they come to me as the sun goes down, shivering in a fucking t-shirt, asking if I can help them. Now, do I look that person in the eye and say, no, go away, knowing full well that they're not going to survive the night? What kind of fucking person would I be if I did that? There was an established need. I come here, people kept fucking turning up, so I built a thing. Them out there, not a single one of them, 18 months, man. Not a single one of them has actually turned up here to go, hey, so what the fuck is even going on here? What is this? Help me to understand what this is. And so to just completely fucking change entire character narratives in the middle of winter is doing my head in. I'm not coping. Anyways, yeah, so I realized this morning there is no fucking way that I can even attempt to, like, try and put the grease on these wheel hubs and know that I can spin them, but they don't spin freely. And like I had a friend explain to me, the entire weight of a caravan rests on the wheel bearings. So you need to make sure they're good. Fuck. So I've rung a mobile mechanic this morning. They're going to come out next Wednesday. That was before I sent through the photos of the wheel hubs though. So who knows, maybe I'll have to find whatever phone that was. Hopefully they're willing to turn up. I explained the situation though, basically I just need you to kind of, just kind of like make it as safe as we can. I'm putting wheels on it and I'm dragging it off this block of land next week. Regardless of if anybody else helps. So, essentially what I want this mechanic guy to come and look at is like literally, will it even fucking get out the gate? Is there any chance that I might be able to get 5 kilometers, 3 miles down a public road without the whole thing just exploding into 1,000 million dumb pieces because it's a British caravan? And whoever designed caravans is just... they're just paper and cardboard origami, and their only purpose in life is to just explode into 1,000 confettis driving down the road. We've all seen the videos online. Not coping, overwhelmed with blessings, freaking out, trapped in my own head, trapped in my weird little fucking dimension here. Completely invisible until I'm not. Way too many fears, legitimate, valid fears, like the fact that there's only one safety chain hanging off the front of that caravan, And there is nowhere on this vehicle to attach a safety chain to. I've done all the things, like there's no obvious loop, but also I've looked all up under anywhere to attach it to the actual tow bar, not just the bumper bar. There's literally nowhere. I've got one giant fucking clip that maybe if I do have to, I can put the one and that might fit around the actual tow bar. I've got a caravan tow ball lock. I saw one photo online where they had it hitched on the car and then had that over the top, essentially locking it onto the tow bar. I'm a normal, good citizen. Let's weigh up the pros and cons. Stay where I am and be safe. Community is safe. Or, society seems to think that dragging this shit show out into the fucking public on public roads is the only option. No, because we can't fucking give me the 90 days, which would take me to the 30th of September, and I'd at least have half a fucking chance at being able to get the money up and do repairs. I don't know. All I know is that this bloke's coming next week, and that will be half the money that I have. And basically fuck everything else that money was already allocated for. I don't know what dimension I'm in, man, but it's a shit one. It's really weird. And not a single fucking person has eyes to see what they're actually looking at. So yeah, not coping. Freaking the fuck out. Panicking. Had to tell someone, so I might as well tell the entire fucking world. Thanks for listening. Stay alive. That's how we fucking piss them off, man. Change the world purely by existing. It's the best I got right now.